was pretty cool. The pine needles, and it just really, really smells good out here. Look at those herons. They were like pterodactyls, they're so big. This is one of my old campsites. Stopped right along the river here. You can see my fire ring down there, or what's left of it. Hey there. Found a really great place to stop. Look at the river. I mean, look how active it is. I hate to fall in. This is what we're going to do. I've taken a hike out here. I've gone about 2 miles or so. This is some of the equipment that I've taken with me. I got my 2-quart canteen. That's a Deuter 32-liter pack. Holds a lot of stuff. You can put a water bladder in there. I usually don't like to do that because I like to carry water. But if I'm going on a nice long bike ride, I'll put a water bladder in there, and that's what I originally bought it for. Here's one of my other steel canteens, but I got quite a bit of stuff in there. I'm going to make some lunch. I'm going to get my cook pot out, and I'm going to boil up some water. And I've got some of the cup of noodles, and I'm going to put some water in there and get that going, and then the rest of the water that's left over my pot, I'm going to make some pine needle tea. You guys ever have pine needle tea? It's pretty good. Kit. Alright, went and got some pine needles. So what I would do is I would pull the needles off from the end of the limb because they're going to be fresher than the ones that are closer to the tree trunk itself. You don't need to get this much. It's pretty potent once you let it steep for a while, but this is a good amount for me. The other tip that I would give is make sure that you don't throw it in your pot and start heating up your water and letting it boil. It's pine, and if you boil it, it turns into turpentine. But it smells really good. The long needles are kind of citrusy flavored with that little bit of Christmassy thing about it. The ones, the needles that are really short, it's a different kind. I think it's like a spruce tree. The ones with the little needles, they're more like a licorice flavor. Either one of them are good, and I'd recommend it. Just get your water hot. Don't let it boil. Get these things in there, stir them up, and put a lid on it and let it steep. Alright, I've posted a video on this before. Actually, it was the last time I came up here when it was all snowy and cold. I mean, freezing cold. This is a small camp stove. This little piece comes off here and it folds up to be about that big around. Small enough to fit in this little neoprene pouch. It's a nice little stove. And this is a windscreen that attaches this little guy. Here's my cook pot. I'm going to put some water in there. Light that stove up and just set it right on there. And this is perfect for, cooking an egg or two on here. What we're going to use it for is a lid. About 24 ounces of water in there. Alright, it has not even been 2 minutes yet. And you already got bubbles on the bottom. Alright, so it's been about 4 minutes. There we go. Let's turn this off. Remember, we don't want it to boil with those needles in there. Well, the needles aren't in there. And the water's very hot. And so we're gonna see if I can do this. All right, that's where it's supposed to be. And now let's get our needles. Put them down in there. I'm not going to do a lot because I only have about a cup of water left. I used 2 cups almost to fill that. So we're going to get those in there. Put the rest of them in there. Let them steep for a few. Alright, this is my little stove. Like I said, it's the Optimus Crux. These little feet come out so you can put your pot on there. I had already folded them. See, it's pretty small. So when you're done with it, you fold those legs back on where they're supposed to be. And then you take this little guy, fold it over like that. And then, see this little latch, you pull it down, it's spring loaded, you pull it down, and the stove folds over. And that's all it is. And that's about the size of it. Then you take your little neoprene pouch, this stove gas fits perfectly down inside that pot. And then this fits inside the pot too, right on top of it. And then you can put your lighter in right on top of that, and then put the lid on it and put it in its little bag. It all fits down inside here with a drawstring on it. It's pretty cool. I don't know how hot this is going to be. Some of you may not know this, but when I was a kid, like early teens, I lived in Japan for 3 years. You know those ramen noodles that you can get? Well, what we ate we didn't call it ramen that I could remember. We call it osoba or soba. This is what the soba tasted like. I know, kind of gross, huh? Having to watch somebody eat up close and personal. Here's our pine needle tea. Let's give this a taste. Pretty good. Kind of a citrusy taste. Reminds me of Christmas. There's a beer, Mammoth Brewery's 395 IPA. I'm pretty sure it's an IPA. But they put juniper in it, juniper berries, and it tastes real kind of piney. That's what this reminds me of, except I won't get drunk.